Some members of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's team say they've been told they may be working on the investigation through 2018. White House attorneys will be meeting with Mueller later this week. They've been assuring President Trump that he will be exonerated by early next year. So what gives? Joining me now, Congressman Andy Biggs, member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, great to see you.
Good to be with you, Lou.
I guess you have the best solution. Fire and move on. It'd be the most expedient. What do you make of these cross currents of accounts that suggest either through next year or early next year?
Well, good grief. Mr. Mueller and his team, some of the people on his team were actually trying to influence the last election. And if Mr. Mueller is allowed to continue his probe for another year, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to try to influence the next election. This is just unacceptable. He had a team that he put together, unvetted, full of bias, not just, the casual bias, but actual real bias, taking actions to undermine the election. And now we know one thing. When the Democrats were accusing President Trump of collusion, it was really them that were colluding with the Russians. This is outrageous. It has to stop. The best thing is for Mr. Mueller to go.
And I have to think, Congressman, that Speaker Ryan should hear you, surely, and those members of Congress who are calling for Mueller to do exactly that. I would have to think that the majority leader of the Senate is hearing you, and that both the leaders of the Congress and the Senate, along with the oversight committees, Judiciary, Intel, are saying the same thing. What are we doing? Why are we tolerating this conduct, this behavior, this obstructionism, this frustration of a duly elected President of the United States?
Yeah, it is amazing to me, and thank goodness Chairman Goodlatte of the Judiciary Committee and Devin Nunes of the Intel Committee, we're taking action. We're subpoenaing people in. We're going to maybe hold some of these people in contempt. That has to happen, but the pressure has to keep up. We're now seeing the dial has turned, that now the majority of Americans, according to a recent poll, they now understand, or beginning to understand, that the Mueller investigation is not fair. They don't trust them any more than we do. And so that has got to weigh in our favor. And at some point, I think critical mass will get there. Mr. Mueller will need to go. But it isn't just Mr. Mueller. That team needs to go. I look at Rod Rosenstein. He needs to go. Andrew McCabe, he needs to go. Jeff Sessions, Christopher Wray, they need to clean out the underbrush of the top-level staff at the DOJ and FBI. If we see that happen, then all of a sudden Americans can once again begin to have trust that this investigation, should there be one, and there really shouldn't be one, is fair. Right now they can't see that. Nobody can see that as fair.
Well, there are a number of your colleagues as well calling for a second special counsel to investigate, if you will, the investigation. At some point, we're going to have an amazing number of special counsel investigations, because there is so much to investigate here. It is clear that there are conflicts of interest at the top of the FBI, at the top of the Justice Department. It is clear that there have been actions taken that are in direct conflict with the responsibilities of anyone serving in the Justice Department or the FBI when it comes to the investigation of Hillary Clinton. We also have, I don't know how many people saying, well, you can't investigate a prominent member of a previous administration. Well, why not just say it out loud? They're telling us that Americans have two systems of justice. One for the people who are the elites, and one for the rest of us who do not serve in government and high office.
It's outrageous. And so the Inspector General, it's not that Mr. Mueller is telling us about the conflicts. The Inspector General or FOIA requests, and they're going back.
Judicial Watch, right.
Exactly, Judicial Watch. And what we're going to find, believe, is that the Inspector General is going to say there were many irregularities in the Hillary Clinton investigation. And when that comes out, Christopher Wray told me in Judiciary Committee under questioning that he would unring that bell. And I said, does that mean we're going to open up the investigation? I was led to believe there that they would open up that investigation. And even Mr. Rosenstein has a hard time saying that they wouldn't open up that investigation because it was as slanted as anything else could be. And so we need to open it up. Americans need to see that justice is going to be served. And they need to basically reopen that. And I think that the Inspector General, when he gets done with his report, hopefully, he's going to tell us exactly what went on there, because we know a lot of things that happened with regard to interviews, with regard to destruction of evidence, obstruction of justice. We know that took place.
Well, as we wrap up here, I would urge consideration of another law be passed, and that would be a law against anyone testifying on Capitol Hill using the expression "unring a bell." that would be a priority in my world.
Absolutely.